Like,
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
People deluded, I'm back again. Quick one now. Obviously, yesterday we dropped 2 points, our second successive away game in a row where we've gone 2 goals ahead and ultimately not brought the 3 points back to London Coley or the Emirates or just back to Arsenal, really and truly. I understand this frustration. I understand the disappointment. There are many things we could do a lot better. I think the manager, every player, excluding the subs because they didn't really impact the game, but every player who started, every one of the gaffer, all the coaching staff, there were things they could have done better and would have done better. Hindsight's a beautiful thing. Same goes for Liverpool. One thing I'm not a fan of is scapegoating. I know football fans of all clubs do it, but Rob Holding is being made to be public enemy number one. Now, it needs to be said, it's unfair to the lad. You're only in a team game, you're only as strong as your weakest man. We're Arsenal, there's 20 players in there. Now, with Rob Holding, respectfully to Rob Holding, I think the only reason you're probably still here is because you're a good lad. You don't make no problems in the training ground. You're clearly a valued member of the squad. Arteta likes you, and we're keeping a close-knit bunch, and we value your leadership qualities, and you're a good guy. There are games you can step in and do all right. Now, I'm not really going to get at Rob Holding because you're only as strong as your weakest man. Does Rob Holding pick himself? No. Did he buy himself in this football club? No. He's one of the few players, since Arsene Wenger's left, that's managed to survive that, and Arteta's been here for a while. I'm not even saying to get at Arteta, but he doesn't pick himself. He's clearly past his sell-by date. He's clearly in terms of, when your backs are against the wall and you need trenches defending, someone who's just going to pull it out of play and stuff like that, Holding can do that. But for how we're trying to play, definitely in the back four, he can't do that. He just simply put, is not of that quality. He hasn't got that guy on the ball to risk take. Hasn't got expansive passing, bar the obvious that he's a professional footballer. For a bunch of reasons, Rob Holding is not good enough for Arsenal Football Club, probably not even in a squad capacity role. If Tomiyasu is fit, which he's not, he plays ahead of him at right centre-back. I'd be amazed if we don't assess and buy another right-sided centre-back. But he's not picking himself. He's not going out there to make mistakes. He's evidently limited. If Rob Holding has to step in because we do not have other players, and because of that, we have to play slightly deeper, then that is on the manager. I'm sorry, but that's on the manager. We've seen last season when we had to rely at this period on certain players, what's going on. We sat there in August, if certain injuries can happen, and we've shown we can step up with injuries and things like that. But if certain players get injured, what story happens. So and I'm not saying to get at Arteta, but he's the one that picks the squad. He's the one that has faith in any one of these players, whether he plays them for a minute or 10 or for every Premier League game. So if anything, direct your energy at the club, really, Again, by Rob Holding's own standards, he's done quite well. I'm not here to defend Rob Holding. I like the guy, but do I believe in him? No. Does he make me nervous? Yes. Would I love Saliba back fit? Yes. But this is where we're at, really and truly. And again, the squad is the squad. Again, for rightly or wrongly, Arteta's assembled it, and you have to be able to use these guys. You're only as good as your weakest man. Any of the knock-on effects by playing Rob Holding, if we're seeing them now, Arteta's a smart man. He has to have known in August. So again, it's on the gaffer. He didn't select himself. He didn't buy himself. He's actually not been the worst player on the football pitch against Liverpool, against West Ham, against Leeds, against Crystal Palace. Have you seen frailties? Have you seen nervy moments? Have you seen the fact that we have to play deeper and we don't quite have that attacking confidence? Have we seen like with Liverpool, they tried to expose him and Zinchenko, or against West Ham, where evidently Mikel Antonio every time was trying to get into that right-hand channel to which Gabriel had to cover? Then, of course, Holding shouldn't be playing, but it's not his fault. Any of the frailties with Rob Holding being in that lineup that we now face is on the manager, because we know what's going to happen, really and truly. And the players have to just step it up, if I'm completely honest with you, because we could talk about Rob Holding. Is Rob Holding the reason I think we lost? Not individually, no. Collectively, we all are to blame. Did Holding give away the ball like Partey? No. Did he switch off and fail to clear his lines for the second goal as Tierney didn't follow his runner and Benjamin White's playing inside? And as a whole team, from that throw-in initially where Gabriel's headed it and we've not stepped up, was that him individually to blame? No. Has he been the worst player on the football pitch? So I understand the frustrations. I understand the evident things with Holding. But I think it's effing mental that people are just going to sit here and blame him. Like some of the mistakes that we were supposed to against West Ham, we've done that when we've got our strongest 11. We've been conceding cheap goals all season, really. So direct your energy at the collective. We're in this together, essentially. And Arteta's been the one that's assessed the side, whether he's naive to Rob Holding's abilities, whether we've not been able to find and facilitate that right-sided centre-back, I don't know. But the next season, it shouldn't be here. Last year, respectfully to El Nene to a slight degree, Rob Holding, Tavares and Cedric, we saw at a crucial period where putting in players that are not quite up to the standard has cost us. And ultimately, it's going to, until we learn this lesson, it's going to keep costing us, really and truly. We need to assess that. If Tomiyasu was fit, probably Tomiyasu or Benjamin White steps in and we don't lose too much in that regards, really. Obviously, Holding is an accident waiting to happen. You know, he can't play a high line. He's not the quickest. You know, he's not the best on the ball, even though he did quite well in the build-up for one of our goals. Teams target him, essentially. We have to drop. He's better when we have... When we have to play our game and the way we play, evidently he's going to struggle. When it's trenches defending, all mans to the pump, just getting something on it, he could do that, really. But I'm not a fan of just attacking Rob Holding. I'm really not. And I think it's quite disgraceful, if I'm honest, because if you remove Rob Holding from yesterday, do we necessarily win the game? Probably not, if I'm completely honest with you. So, yeah, the manager selected him. I'm not saying to attack Partey or any individual player. It's just direct your energy where it needed to be. We just weren't good enough. We weren't good enough, you know. Every single player on that field yesterday and the manager, can they say they couldn't have done better? If they can say they played as well as they can against West Ham and we was unlucky, credit to West Ham and credit to us, I'd say fair play, but that's not true. You were 2 goals up. West Ham were there for the slaughter. Instead, you let the hammers back and we got nailed, really and truly. So on that note, that's all I've got to say. Smash the like button. Let me know your thoughts. I'm out.
There's always just that active defending.
I think it's like